this video, we're going to begin to build the cow catcher that goes at the front of the train. So let's go to left viewport and let's once again unhide the blueprints. Unhide all. No. There we go. Okay. So what happens is there's a strap at the bottom and one at the top, and then there are these pink bars. Sometimes there's strips. You can do research and do whatever you like. For now, we're going to stick with what I have in the reference. So to begin, we'll just make a plane, create panel, geometry, plane, and I'm going to come right here and drag out a plane that matches the blueprint, just like that. I'm going to change the segments. Let's do 14 and 2, perspective viewport. Okay. F3, I'm going to move that forward so we can see a little better. I'm also going to rotate it. Make sure that your snaps are active. Rotate it 90 degrees, just like that. And let's move it back to the bumper, like the bumper area of the train. Go to top viewport to see if we're aligned. And just move it a little bit and center it as well on the bumper. That looks good. Okay. And let's just nudge it up a touch and give a little thickness to that. So we'll convert it to editable poly and add a shell modifier. Okay, and there you go. I think what we'll do for the bottom one, we'll take the same piece and clone it. So I'm going to use the move tool and shift, drag this down just like that as a copy. And then I'm going to go into the top viewport and I'm going to just modify that mesh a little. It should come out. So let's grab everything but the end 2 points, and with the move tool we'll move them forward a little bit, just like that. And we'll go down the line until we create like a point. And it doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line either, because we're going to smooth this. And forward again. And then once we're finished with this, we'll make some little posts that attach the top and bottom. One more, we'll move that forward just like that. Let's go to perspective, F3, and let's go left viewport as well and make sure that we're kind of in the ballpark of what happens with the blueprint. I Alt and X so I can see through. I'm going to move this back just like that. And let's move this top one back as well, just to there. There we go. Okay, so now we have the top and the bottom, and they'll serve as a guide for how we should make the splines that attach them. So let's select top, bottom, and control click on the blueprint, Alt and Q to isolate. Just take a second to isolate that. There we go. Left viewport. And what we want to do is pretty much create some splines. They can have a little curve to them just so they have some interest. I'm going to just drag one out. That would be the center. Right click. I'm going to go into the perspective viewport and make sure that's aligned to the center, which it is. And then I'm going to make one at this closer end here, so left viewport. And then in between those, we'll just make variations of the end piece that we're going to create right now. So create panel, line, start up here again. And we'll come down here. Maybe we'll do a little curve like that. Come down. Right click to end that spline, and let's move it out. Okay, so there works. And we'll make it a renderable spline, so we'll go into rendering, enable in viewport, and enable in renderer. Give a little more thickness. And once you give it thickness, you may need to adjust it like that. And the other thing we can do is grab this top vert, convert it to a Bezier, and manipulate that handle so it's not quite so angled to the front. Maybe we'll do this and that. And pull this one out a little bit and adjust this one as well. So I'm going to click on the Y handle so I can manipulate the Bezier handles on that axis, just like that. And one more thing we'll do is raise the interpolation to 10. Okay, so now that thickness value, the renderable spline value, we're going to use on everything, but what we're going to do is let's just create the rest of them, hopefully just using this one. And I'm going to space them roughly one thickness, like the thickness of one of these pieces apart from each other. So that would almost be like an alternating pattern of space and then pipe. There we go. So you do the same thing out to the edge. And again, manipulate the vertices, just give them a little kickback. And we're going to do the same thing going towards the center as well. So let's grab this one here and shift and drag it in as a copy. And just manipulate the verts out towards that panel there. It's like a mounting piece. There we go. And they don't have to be perfect. They're probably bent by hand, so if there's a little wave in them, I don't mind that so much, like what we have going on right there. Okay, so shift and drag and manipulate. Just pull that forward. And so on. We'll go down the line. Let me make that middle spline renderable. Okay, and I believe these have a different value. It's 1.2, so let's make it consistent. And up the interpolation to 10. And once again, we're going to grab that end vert and make sure that it's kind of flush. I don't mind that one so much. This one can come down just a little bit. Just like that. 3. And that looks good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pause the video, and in the next video I'll have these all in place, and then we'll place some rivets along the strap down here.